Unicorn Overlord. As you saw in the title, I put over 60 hours into this game. Would I do it again? What did I like about the game? What didn't I like about the game? And would I recommend that you play this game? Now, I am a vanillaware junkie, so I'm kind of biased maybe. I think I have every single game they've ever made. Take that, take that into account when you watch this review, but let's get started. And the thing that has to be talked about is the art style. Their art style. Vanillaware's art style is absolutely on point. Even games on the PlayStation 2 and the Wii, they somehow still made those things look phenomenal. I don't know how they do it. They always have the people kind of doing the motion and everything like that, showing life in every character. The character development for everybody is phenomenal. You really kind of know who they are. That being said, there is so many people that you can get in your army or whatever you want to call it. You do tend to start forgetting some people, who they are, why they're there, and everything like that. That's the other thing, is you're going to kind of want to see who you like in each team before you really get too set in any way. Another thing that you're going to want to really pay attention to is certain, I guess, characters. I don't know what to call them. It's certain jobs, I guess. I'll say certain jobs. Like, you can't change job systems that I could find in this game, but certain jobs can really help you out against other jobs, and other jobs are just completely weak against this other, certain jobs. So you really have to pay attention to that. The more characters you have, the more characters you have on each little team or each little, chess playing like little block thing, the better it gets. In the beginning, it didn't seem to matter as much, but as you go on through the game, it's really going to be something that you have to pay attention to. And while we're on the lines of that, the combat system, you don't actually control your characters in combat. You kind of give them a set list of things that they can do in the options, or in the start menu. You go to character list, and you can pick which options that they're going to do first, and what they'll do for what reason. And it is extremely complicated, and honestly, I didn't really use it. I know that's probably like like one of the best parts of the game, but I kind of just let the game choose it for me, and as everybody kind of get it upgraded, it would kind of change it for me. Now, it's just, there's so many characters. I forget how many I had. It was I feel like it was close to 50 or something like that towards the end of the game. I mean, managing 50 different people is different, abilities. It seemed like I'm glad the game does this for me. Another thing that you can do is you can optimize the weapons and the rings and the accessories and all that kind of stuff by just hitting the start button or the plus button, and it'll optimize each character. Now, I do wish there was that option for the whole list. Like, I wish you could hit a button for the whole list and every one of them would be optimized. Now, I know you probably wouldn't want to do that for certain people because you're not going to be using them anymore, so I get why they kind of didn't do that. But I really wish there was an option, like all people who are on a team, you can optimize their weapons and accessories. If I missed that and there is that ability, please let me know down in the comments section, or other people know. I don't know if I'll ever play the game again. I really rarely ever go back to games. Some of the things that you do kind of seems like rinse and repeat, and that is one of the issues I've had with a couple of the games in the Vanillaware library, and why some of the games I actually haven't finished, because it's just like, I did this, or you just keep kind of rinse and repeat. I think most RTSs, I guess this is kind of like an RTS, are kind of like that to some level, but the way they have this, the way you don't actually have to control each character in battle, you just put which one's best for each battle, and they just do their own thing. You don't even have to go watch the battle. You can just hit the start button and everything will kind of just happen, and you just get the results, the predetermined result. I mean, there's so many things like quality of life, basically things that are in this game. Now, it is fun to watch the battles, so you may want to watch every single one. But I did notice that once you start getting buffs and debuffs and all that kind of stuff, like there's so many different things, and it is kind of nice just to hit the start button and have that battle go down. Now, if it's an important battle, or if it's a battle where you're going to have communication with the other person, then yeah, I would go into that battle. But if it's just kind of just off on the side of the road or something like that, a lot of the times I would just hit the start button and just let things play out the way they were going to play out, because it already tells you how it's going to play out and when it's going to play out. So if you're somebody who likes story-based, now there's not a ton of characters getting together. There is a thing called rapport on here. Really, it gives you little storylines for each character. It doesn't really go much based on, past that. You can't really select, it's not like you can select what phrases or what words to say to this person like in different other games. So as far as character development, it's great. But as far as like developing in between different characters, it's there, but not really. Like it's predetermined everything. And yeah, so and each character's only going to have rapport with the other person, as far as I could tell, that they're on a team with. So if you're not on a team with somebody, I don't know how you develop rapport with them. There's going to be a time at the end of the game where this does kind of play into it. So I'm always male, female. So if there's a particular female that you are interested in or like their story, maybe 100% have them on the team with Elaine. Otherwise, you're going to have to, it's going to be a mess. So if you do have somebody that you like, Elaine and this person maybe together, have that person on your team for quite a while. If you're a story-driven person, this really does have a story. If you like old fairy tale type things, this is your thing. If you like old medieval thing, genres, then this would be your game. If you're somebody who likes having control of everything in the game, it's kind of there, but it's not in battle. I like that. I like the fact that I'm hitting the microphone, but I like the fact that I don't have to control however many characters every single battle. And I like the fact that I can hit the start button. I'm already given a predetermined what's going to happen in that battle, and it happens. I really like that. I played on easy mode. I don't know if that's in other modes. I like playing on easy mode because I'm really here for the story, and life's hard enough without having your game kick your ass as well. So I always play in easy mode whenever it's available to me, especially with vanillaware. Vanillaware can be extremely difficult games. They put out extremely difficult games. So if that's your thing, again, it's an option that you do have. And when you beat the game, I hope I'm not giving too much away, they do give like a really hard level that you can go re-enjoy if you like that life of having your game be at the absolute hardest it can be. There is so many different ways of customizing everything, and there's also different ways you can play. You can put very similar job styles all on one team and just have them go annihilate everybody that they would be good at annihilating. You can mix things up. If you mix things up too much, though, that is going to cause a lot of issues. So I would recommend that you have sort of similar jobs in one, a group of teammates and a healer. That is kind of how I did things. I would have however many like battle horses and then a healer and maybe somebody with a buff, debuff. And, then another team maybe with a couple hammer people on it, and, just different things like that. I would definitely keep things, like if you have 5 completely different job styles, it might work, but it might not. It might not. And if it's always not working, then you're gonna have to change the teams up. I had one team that I called the Misfits. That was actually one of the best teams I had. I got to a point where everybody else was on a team and I had X amount of players left and I just put them on a team and I couldn't believe that was like the best team I had. It was crazy, but it was all like main characters, so I couldn't like kind of replicate it too much. Oh man, that was one of my best teams. So anyway, after 60 hours into this game, I have to say that I would probably put another 60 hours into this game. Again, it's definitely a game that I would recommend highly. The one thing that I did not like about the game, I'm sure there's a couple, you know, the rinse and repeat did kind of get annoying, but the fact that you can hit the plus button or start button or whatever you want to call it and have the battles play out, I did like that. There is kind of random encounters in the game that would get annoying after a while, but it does give you these things called honors. Honors is another thing that in the beginning of the game is excruciatingly annoying, and then by the end of the game, you have so many that you don't even know what to do with them. So I wish they would have balanced that system out a little bit more, the honor system. I really wish I had mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but here we are. I guess it is kind of a con. The con, I really think the honor system is kind of a con. I really do. I see why they did it, but at the end of the game, it was kind of just annoying to have it. But the most annoying thing that they had in this game was the time limit. And I know some people are going to love this and some people are going to be like me and they absolutely hate it because a lot of the times the time limit really didn't mesh well with the particular map that you were on. A lot of the times it was way too short or way too long. It didn't seem to flow with what map you're on. And a lot of the times it seemed like they were trying to make it so you almost speed run the map. But there's some maps that I really wanted to just kind of digest and just annihilate everybody. And there's others that I wanted to just get to the main post or whatever and just be done with it because I was just way too overpowered as it was. It was something that I didn't find when I should have found it. And I just want to be done with it. So the time limit thing, I really wish it wasn't there. The honors thing, I see why they did it. It's kind of like a Porsche, right? I personally don't like them at all. I think they're stupid, but I can see why people would like it. Okay, so it's kind of like that. I could see why people would like it, but I personally wish it didn't exist. There is a way around it. These little, I forget what they're called, corn ash or something like that. There is a way around it, so it's not that big of a deal. I just kind of wish it didn't exist. And the honor system, again, I'm going to mention it once again. It's how you expand your characters, it's how you expand your teams, it's how you do kind of everything in the unit, like creating your different units. I realize why it's there, I do. So in the comments section, I don't, people aren't gonna, yell at me for, whatever. I see why it was there, but it was just kind of annoying. It really was just kind of annoying. But again, it didn't ruin the game at all. The game's phenomenal. 60 hours in, I think it's like 61 and a quarter hours in. And I'd do it again. And I rarely say that about games. Yeah, like, Tears of the Kingdom. I would never put the hours into Tears of the Kingdom that I did again, ever. And I wish it wouldn't have in the first place. So, yes, this game is phenomenal. If you got a Switch, I don't know what other systems it was on. I played it on the Switch. Definitely worthwhile. And that is my review. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.